Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news here on KALH, weather always comes first. Extremely dangerous heat will persist from the Midwest into the East Coast into late this week. Monsoonal moisture may produce excessive rain and considerable flash flooding and debris flows, especially near recent burn scar areas in New Mexico and West Texas. Severe storms are possible from the southern to central plains into the Great Lakes and Northeast, all the way into the northern central plains. Closer to home, the National Weather Service has issued a flood watch in effect through tonight. Excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, arroyos, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Storms are going to be capable of producing rain rates in excess of 2 inches an hour and torrential rainfall at that. Areas at highest risk for flooding include burn scars, mountain canyons, and vulnerable urban locations. Potential for heavy rainfall with localized flooding continues through tomorrow. Showers and storms will be widespread over the entire area through Friday, becoming more isolated on the weekend. Lingering monsoon moisture will allow for daily afternoon showers and storms through early next week, especially in higher terrain. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
This is Range Control with roadblock information for Wednesday, June 25th. Roadblocks are subject to change without notice. Highway 70, Highway 380, Highway 54, Owen Road, Nike Avenue, and War Highway are scheduled to remain open all day.
At last night's City Commission meeting, the City Commission faced a screw-up that the Commission self-reported.
This is for a cure regarding a self-reported Open Meetings Act violation that took place during the hiring process of the next city manager. What ended up happening was after the City Commission rightfully went into a executive session, when interviews were being held, that was supposed to go first to a open meeting, and then you guys would then be allowed to elect to go into executive session to hold those interviews. And that's where the violation took place, is we did not have proper notice of the meeting before you guys went in to do those interviews. Per the Open Meetings Act, any type of public business has to be at first stated in an open meeting, and then per one of the exceptions that is allowed to go into executive session, that including personnel decisions, then the commission would be allowed to hold those interviews. So the interviews that took place for city manager on Monday, March 31st, Tuesday, April 1st, and Wednesday, April 2nd, that should have had a open meeting first and then adjourned to a executive session or closed session. And so in talking with the Department of Justice, per the Opens Meeting Act, the way to rectify this situation is to be open and transparent with the city that the violation did occur, that it's being rectified, and just announcing that a violation did occur.
Daryl Morey, the city attorney.
This is just bringing it up to one, announce and to have that full transparency with the city, and then at the next commission meeting, then it can get approved that, yep, we approve what the attorney said. And so that's basically all it is right now.
The issue was voted 7-0, and the issue is resolved. Then they discussed if the HR director had the authority to close the position for the city manager. This was an issue that looked like an issue but wasn't. Acting city manager Dr. Stephanie Hernandez.
As always, how lawyers are, it's a technicality of words.
Damn, she was sitting right next to him and everything. You can check out the meeting in full on the city YouTube channel. Sudden monsoon storms brought dangerous flooding to the Reynosa area on Monday, trapping drivers and prompting emergency rescues along Highway 70. Video released shows fast-moving water sweeping across the highway near the Salt Fire burn scar. Emergency crews had to work to reach a trapped driver as a truck tried to block the current. Moments later, that driver was rescued. The flooding was triggered by runoff from the Salt Fire burn scar. That fire scorched parts of the region last year, leaving behind terrain that cannot absorb a lot of water. Even short storms can lead to rapid, dangerous flooding in those conditions. Officials are reminding drivers to avoid flooded roads entirely. Even shallow-looking water can be a lot more powerful than it seems, with enough force to knock a person off their feet or carry away a vehicle. Evening classes have been canceled for Apache language scheduled for tonight and Wednesday, July 2nd. Evening classes will resume on Wednesday, July 9th. The Mescalero Parks and Recreation Department has made the difficult decision to temporarily close Silver Lake for fishing. This is due to extremely low lake levels caused by a crack in the lake bed, which has created unsafe conditions around the lake, including soft edges and deep mud. The village of Tularosa is reminding residents that trash pickup is running a day behind. Leave your trash bins out and they will be picked up. The La Luz Agricultural Market is taking place this Saturday. We heard from Olivia Cobb.
This weekend, I expect there to be some baby turkeys, some baby ducks, baby chickens. Do have some people that do baked goods. We've had people out there selling juice, lemonade, fresh fruit. All of them have their food handlers. Their stuff is delicious. It's great for the whole family to come out and just look at the animals, enjoy lunch, make new friends, learn about agriculture.
Saturday morning at 10, 7298 Highway 5470, right between the pistachio farms. Call 575-442-1193 and speak with Olivia if you have any questions or you want to participate. By the way, getting a booth is 100% free. The Alamogordo Daily News welcomes a new news editor, Sarah Rubenstein.
Sarah comes to us from Missouri Zoo, one of the top journalism programs in the country. She is going to be the news editor, news reporter / editor at the Alamogordo News. She, has a pretty diverse background. She spent some time in Brussels as an energy environment intern with a career there. She's just ready to get started. She says she likes to localize these national issues and how they affect the community in Alamogordo. With our strong military presence in Alamogordo and our national forests, like I talked about earlier, there's a lot of ability to talk about how Alamogordo connects to that national conversation.
Adrian Hedden there speaking with KRWG. News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Hi, it's me, here to tell you about AlamogordoTownNews.org. This is Otero County's #1 source for local news, sports, and community. Quite frankly, AlamogordoTownNews.org is the big LES news service online. AlamogordoTownNews.org is a Second Life Media affiliated company.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
What happens when the marriage of an innocent ingenue gets thwarted by the no-good Schnickel Fritz grub? Well, you can only imagine. The Cloudcroft Light Opera Company presents Those Wedding Bells Shall Not Ring Out. Witness the ceremony at the Cloudcroft Pavilion, 7:30 p.m., June 27 and 28, July 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, and 12th. Free admission. Donations taken for youth scholarships. Those Wedding Bells Shall Not Ring Out in cooperation with Pioneer Drama Company and Tim Kelly.
Police have issued an arrest warrant for a Hope Christian school teacher accused of sexually abusing an 11-year-old girl. Police said 66-year-old Kelly McEachran touched the student inappropriately, both over and under her clothes, over several weeks. The student's parents told the school about it back in April. The teacher was placed on administrative leave, and police believe there may be other victims. Firefighters working on the trout fire burning in the Gila National Forest north of Silver City have successfully increased the fire's containment to 33% as of yesterday, to 47,100 acres yesterday. 1,400 personnel are working on that fire. The cause of the fire continues to be under investigation. Residents are encouraged to remain alert as the heightened risk of flooding is expected in the burned areas. Helicopters were able to drop water along the fire's western flank on Monday, and that allowed crews to construct a line and implement other suppression tactics closer to the fire's edge. Some good news around that fire. The second largest alligator juniper tree in the nation, known as the Big Tree, is still standing in the Gila National Forest as the trout fire burns. The tree has a trunk diameter of 18 feet 4 inches. The tree itself stands 63 feet tall and is crowned with a 62-foot wide canopy. It's located along an 1860s route that was used to transport firewood and lumber from Pinos Altos to Fort Bayard using wagons pulled by horses and mules. Some estimates put the big tree at over 1,500 years old. Glad to hear the tree is still standing. The New Mexico Environment Department and the New Mexico Department of Justice have filed a new lawsuit seeking to order the U.S. Department of the Air Force to clean up PFAS contamination at Cannon Air Force Base near Clovis. This comes a few months after the Cannon Air Force Base was fined by the state of New Mexico over PFAS violations. According to the EPA, the chemicals are long-lasting and break down slowly. Current research indicates that exposure to PFAS could have adverse health effects. PFAS are typically used in a specific type of firefighting foam. The New Mexico Environment Department states that the United States Air Force has been releasing PFAS into the environment for decades, thereby causing groundwater plumes extending about 4 miles southeast of the Air Force Base. According to the department, the plume threatens the community and has resulted in the euthanasia of over 3,500 dairy cows. According to the New Mexico Environment Department, the Air Force has disagreed with the state's conclusion that PFAS is subject to regulation under the Hazardous Waste Act. The Air Force has filed a lawsuit against the NMED in response. Earlier this year, House Bill 140, focused on hazardous material and waste, was signed into law by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham and specifically designates discarded firefighting foams containing PFAS as hazardous waste. This lawsuit relies on the existing and expanded authority under this recently signed bill. The Chaves County Road Department has closed all county road crossings along the Borindo River and expects them to remain closed as more rain is forecast over the next few days. The City of Roswell Engineering Department was inspecting city bridges for their structural integrity, and personnel from the City Streets Department and Parks Department were removing tree limbs that were blown down by the storm on Sunday. The Roswell Fire Department and Roswell Police Department got calls on Sunday about vehicles possibly being stuck in high water. No report of flooding inside homes or other buildings in the city. New Mexico State University will offer the state's first Bachelor of Science in Artificial Intelligence program. It was approved by the New Mexico Higher Education Department and Higher Learning and hopes to provide students with a comprehensive education in AI technologies. These include machine learning, automated reasoning, human-computer interaction, data mining, and more. Enrico Pontelli is the NMSU Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and he spoke with KRQE.
And this is in response to the request that we're getting both from students who want to learn more about AI, as well as employers who are actually seeking more and more people who have experience, expertise, and knowledge of what is AI, how to develop AI solution, and how to apply AI solution to different type of problems.
The program will begin in the fall 2026. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch in effect through tonight. Excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, arroyos, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations. Storms will be capable of producing rain rates in excess of 2 inches an hour, and torrential rainfall is expected. Areas at the highest risk for flooding include burn scars, mountain canyons, and vulnerable urban locations. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for partly sunny skies. There's a 90% chance of showers and storms today. New rainfall amounts between a quarter to a half inch expected. Partly cloudy tonight with a 60% chance of more rain and showers. Partly sunny tomorrow with a 70% chance of more rain and showers. Your high today in the basin, 80. Low tonight of 64. High tomorrow, 83 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly cloudy skies today with a 90% chance of showers and storms. New rainfall amounts between a quarter to a half inch expected. Mostly cloudy tonight with a 60% chance of showers and storms. Partly sunny tomorrow with an 80% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in the basin, 61. Low tonight of 47. High tomorrow, 63 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KLH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes this Wednesday edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.